Okay, so after we know how many significant figures we have, then we have certain rules for dealing with them in any kind of calculation. So rounding, we're just going to do something real simple like you learned in middle school. If it's a 5 or greater, the next digit is 5 or greater, round up. If it's 4 or less, round down. Pretty simple. So in this case, if I wanted to round this to 4 significant figures for A, it would be 314.7. If I wanted to round B to 2 significant digits, it'd be 0.0018. And in C, it would be 88,000 meters, 8,800 meters, 2 significant digits. Okay. So they go through lots of detail. So when we add and subtract numbers, and we have different number of significant figures in each of the calculations, we look at the column or the place value that that number has. So for A, I know 2 digits for the 2 decimals for the first one, only 1 for the second one, and 2 for the third one. So I can only report 2 decimal places, regardless of how many total significant figures I get. In the second one, I know 3 significant digits past the decimal point in B, and I know 2 significant figures past the decimal point in the second number, so I can only report 2 decimal places, regardless of what that number ends up being. So when we look at these columns, and you can see here that we're going to cut off right here between the 5 and the 2, just to the other side of the 0, and then down to the 4, between the 4 and the 2. And so I would round this number to 369.8 meters, because the 6 would round the 7 up to an 8. You can put it in scientific notation, but it's not necessary unless you have a lot of zeros. So here, again, we look at it. We're going to cut off here between the 3 and the 6 because I don't have a digit here in the thousandths place for 28.34 meters. And so this would round then to 46.29 meters. And again, scientific notation is not necessary. It is a lot easier when we do multiplication and division, because when we look at multiplication or division, we determine the number of significant figures in each value, and the least number is how many you can report. So in this case, A, I'm multiplying a number with 3 significant figures by a number with only 2 significant figures. And so my answer could only have 2 significant figures. You multiply it as normal, but then you're going to round to 2 significant figures. For B, also 2 significant figures. C, I'm going to round to 2 significant figures. And D, I'm going to round to 3 significant figures. So let's look at these. So when I multiply it out, I get 2.567 meters squared. Since I only have 2 significant digits in 0.034 meters, then this will round to 2.6 meters. Here again, I have 2 significant figures in my 0.70 meters. The 7 and the final 0 are significant. When I multiply it, I get 1.47, which this 4 is going to round up to a 5, which is 1.5 meters squared. Here, I think we're getting the idea. We have 2 significant figures, so we're going to round that 9 off and get 0.29 meters. Doesn't matter if we multiply or divide. And the same thing here. And then I think that's everything we need to know. So hopefully that helps. Let me know.